Hi, everybody. So it's been a hot minute since I have done a market update, and I'll tell you that a few things have happened in my life. I got engaged and got married all within like 6 months. No, I'm not pregnant. I have a 23-year-old son, so that would be totally nuts if I were to have done that. And now I have an 11-year-old stepdaughter. So I also bought and sold a house. I sold a house, our house that we had in Northeast Portland, and we purchased a house in Oregon City. So it is October. I got married 5 days ago. So I'm back. And my name will be changing. I will no longer be Tamara Thayer. I will be Tamara Stone. So I'll still be Special Agent Tam, so that won't change, but my last name will go from Thayer to Stone. So welcome. If you are new, then maybe once I become Tamara Stone, it won't really matter to you. It matters a big deal to me because in all of my unicornness, meaning that I have lived in the Portland metro area all my life, I actually moved home to Oregon City, where I came from. And I've been a Thayer for over 40 years, and now I will be a Stone. So it's a big deal to me. Anyway, let's get on to the market update. October 2022. And I'm going to share my screen so you can kind of see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Give me 1 second while I do that. So this is what we're looking at. It's Portland metro area. And we talk about, here are the months numbers inventory wise when we talk about 2.2 months of inventory, which is what September was. These market action updates come out middle of the month. So we're a couple weeks into this current month's worth of data that won't come out until middle of November. So for September, we doubled our inventory from last year and the year before. So this is what we're talking about. There's a little bit of what we're calling a rebalancing. So this is us kind of getting back to normal. Look, this is January 2020, so this is right before COVID hit. COVID did a number on our numbers for a long time. Things got kind of nutty here, 0.6 of inventory. So typically, if we were able to go back a few more years, we would see these numbers still kind of being lower than the middle of the month sorts of things, or sorry, middle of the year. Not too many people like to go to market in this time of the year. It's getting rainy, it's getting cold, you have to move in the rain, holidays are coming through, don't really want to have to deal with all of the showings of the house on top of Christmas and all of that stuff. So typically not very many people listing, but days on market are increasing. So we've increased to 34 days on market. So we're getting more than a month at this point, which is great for buyers. So for you buyers who maybe got burnt out amidst the COVID season of everything kind of going really quickly, you have a little bit more time to see houses and make a decision. So a lot of people were able to, they needed to see a house the same day it came on the market, be prepared to put in an offer right away, and then have that house potentially go pending by early the following week. This is not the case anymore. It's still a case-by-case sort of basis, depending on the area, the location specifically, your price point, and how dialed in that house is. So, a lot of people are looking for 3.2s, so that's going to be a high competition. A lot of people are looking for the sub 400, so below $400,000 range. That's going to be high competition. Anything between the 5 and say 750, it's still hanging out for a little while. Anything over 750, we're seeing them still go pretty quickly. But it is always going to be on a case-by-case basis. And I just wanted to show that this is the information that we base our data off of. It comes directly from our multiple listing service that is provided to us realtors. And so if your real estate agent is not supplying you with these sorts of numbers, feel free to ask me. I'm always happy to help. So there are some other places that we can look at for active listings right now. You can see the blue was 2020, the green was 2021, and the red is the current year, 2022. So things are increasing here on a nice steady rhythm, which is good to see. It just means that you have more houses to look at for longer periods of time. Those are active residential. This is total listings in all of Portland. The new listings are still in line, which is nice. We have a little bit less now and it'll fall. You see how these fall typically in October, November, December. So we'll see a decrease in new listings coming on the market, which is normal. Pending sales, we're seeing less pending sales as well. I would equate this to the volatility of the interest rates. So the interest rates started to increase here May, June, and buyers freaked out, especially for the FHA buyers who maybe don't have the greatest credit, don't have the greatest debt to income, and so their buying power has been reduced. So we see numbers like, you know, had you bought a house last year this same time for $500,000 at 3% interest, now your mortgage at that same dollar amount, so say you're buying a $500,000 house, your interest rate is now 6%, your mortgage has like doubled in price. So that's why these numbers are looking this way. My husband just came through the door, so he may come in here and say something. He'll be on video. If he does, hopefully he heard me say that, so then he knows what he's in for. Median sale prices looking quite in line. And here's our quadrants here, which we love to see, Southwest Washington and the Portland metro area. Kind of an easy snapshot to show where the median home prices are. So what's your best bang for your buck? In terms of, looks like Southeast Portland is $489, which is less expensive than Oregon City can be, Molalla. Yamhill County is even less. And then you're gonna get the zigzag Mount Hood things for $466. So here's a good, nice little snapshot for if you're thinking about, okay, well, what is the median prices in places? Doesn't mean that there aren't any houses in this area that are gonna go for much less or much more, but just gives you an idea as to where the really expensive markets are. Obviously, West Portland, Lake Oswego, always these areas are kind of the higher market prices here. And then to give you the difference between Southwest Washington and the Portland metro area. Then we have this whole selection of condos. If you're interested in condos and that information, hit me up. I can give you that information at a later date. I did want to talk a little bit about my recent move into Oregon City and give you a snapshot as that Oregon City is where my heart is, and I hope to dominate this market and help people get in here because I love it and I think it's amazing. And I'd love to see more people who I would love to see in my area and hang out with and run into at, say, the grocery store or something like that. So we'll talk about Oregon City a little bit. So according to niche.com, the public schools is a B+ rating, crime and safety B-, nightlife B+. And we're seeing quite an increase in a revitalization of the downtown area, some higher end restaurants coming into play. So those sorts of things. It does say that there's many families and young professionals that live here, and the residents tend to lean a little bit more towards the conservative. Population is a little over 37,000, and the median home value is $382. So if you're interested in any more information or thinking about listing or buying a house here in the next few months, please, or the next year or the next 2, let me know. I'm always happy to help. And thanks again for stopping by. I hope to hear from you soon. Peace out.